Hi, Boomer here with the Knowledge is Ammo channel. Today we're going to be starting a brand new series called Lost in Generation. This is a series where we're going to talk about movies from the past probably 20, 30 years, from the 70s, 80s, and 90s that have probably skipped a generation and maybe you have not seen, or maybe you have and just have forgotten about. These are cult classics, really top-notch movies, or even grade B movies that maybe you didn't watch that you just probably should watch. So the video clips that we're going to watch today are actually hacked up and chopped by me from multiple different sources. And I just had fun with it. It took me quite a while to get this off and rolling, but we're going to go ahead and get started with this with our first movie, which is a cult classic called Goonies. Now, Goonies is an absolute great movie. If you've never seen it before, you really need to take your time and go watch this movie. It's an absolute fantastic movie. Now, Goonies came out in 1985, directed by Richard Donner. Now, here's the thing about Goonies. When Goonies came out, Rotten Tomatoes, well, it's not when it came out. Right now, Rotten Tomatoes has this ranked at about 70%. Metacritic rates it about 60%. But the users who actually watch this movie give it a 91%, which is really where this movie deserves to be. It's truly a great cult classic movie and phenomenal cast of characters and great acting and a truly good adventurous movie. So the thing about Goonies, it's about a group of kids who live on what's called the Goon Ducks. That's how they call themselves, Goonies, in Astoria, Oregon. And they attempt to save their homes from being demolished by this group of people moving in, turning it into a golf course. During their messing around in their father's attic, they find a treasure map, supposedly left by a long-lost pirate named One-Eyed Willie from the 17th century. So they go chasing this map around, and they get chased by a family of criminals who end up wanting the treasure for themselves too. It's a great adventure movie. It's about an hour and 54 minutes long, if I'm not mistaken. It was a $19 million cost, but it budgeted about $61.5 million at the box office and still makes money today. It's got Sean Astin, Josh Brolin, Corey Feldman, Jeff Cohen, Cary Green, Martha Plimpton, and Ke Huy Quan as the starring actors. Story by Steven Spielberg, screenplay by Chris Columbus, and of course produced by Richard Donner, directed by Richard Donner. Great movie. Make sure you go check this movie out. It's a must-see. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and check out the trailer that I put together for Goonies.
Wait a minute!
Steven Spielberg presents The Goonies, a Richard Donner film. Meet Mikey,
I gotta go fast.
Brand, Andy,
Shame. Come on, Brand. Slip her the tongue. That's disgusting. No, I can't even look.
Mouth,
I gotcha. Now get out from behind her. You're ruining the painting. You're ruining my joke.
Stephanie, Data,
Cody Bango. Ow. Guys, isn't that neat?
and Chunk.
It's Chunk. I just saw the most amazing thing in my entire life. First, you gotta do the truffle shuffle. Come on. Do it. Come on. Do it. Cut it out, Mo.
They call themselves the Goonies. They've stumbled onto a legend.
Chocolate.
You want a candy bar?
You do now.
Look, I got a Baby Ruth. Sir?
Let it stand and pardons. And now, the final crowning touch to this cake. Take about a tablespoon of cocoa.
I'm gonna throw it to you, okay?
Put it in a very small sieve. You shake your sieve.
Discover what they uncover.
Rubies and emeralds and diamonds.
The lost map.
Oh, this started the tunnel.
The secret caves.
Hey, Mikey! You can hear me! Run!
hidden clues. The treacherous traps.
Hello, Sheriff. I'm at the Lighthouse Lounge, and I want to report a murder.
Just like that last prank about all those little creatures that multiply when you throw water on them.
Join the adventure as Steven Spielberg presents The Goonies, a Richard Donner film.
All right, welcome back. I really hope you enjoyed that trailer that I put together for Goonies. It was a little difficult, but it was a fun process to put together, putting all the little things together and getting it the way I wanted to. But I hope you enjoyed it. All right, the next movie we're going to talk about that kind of maybe got lost in Generation is another absolute favorite, and I couldn't help but put this in as the very first episode, which is Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club is another fantastic movie, and it deserves to be in the first episode of Lost in Generation. I can't say enough how many times I've watched this movie and what this movie means to my generation and other generations. I know young kids that have watched this movie that said this movie really spoke to them. And it does cross generations and speak to a lot of different people and the problems they're having and the things they go through. So it's absolutely a fantastic movie. There we go. This movie came out in 1985, was directed by the great John Hughes. He's done some absolutely big-time movies, got some big soundtrack with this movie as well. You have to watch this movie. It's an absolute go-to movie for everybody. Now, another big thing about this movie is it only had a budget of $1 million. Critics consider this to be one of the greatest movies of all times. And it grossed 51.5 at the box office, and again, still makes money today. So it's another phenomenal example of just minimalist input into a movie, being able to just be phenomenal. So check this trailer out that I put for Breakfast Club. It's got some fun stuff in it and some quirky things, but I really hope you enjoy it. Take a look.
Well, well, here we are.
It is now 7:06. You have exactly 8 hours and 54 minutes to ponder the error of your ways. Any questions?
Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
And you, I will not be made a fool of.
Face it, you're a neo-maxi zoom dweeby.
What would
A naked blonde walks into a bar with a poodle under one arm and a 2-foot salami under the other. She lays the poodle on the table. Bartender says, "I suppose you won't be needing a drink." Naked lady says, "Oh, shit!"
We accept the fact that we had to sacrifice a whole Saturday in detention for whatever it was we did wrong. But we think you're crazy to make us write an essay telling you who we think we are. And you see us as you want to see us. In the simplest terms, with the most convenient definitions. But what we found out is that each one of us is a brain and an athlete
And a basket case. A princess.
and a criminal. Does that answer your question? Sincerely yours, The Breakfast Club.
All right, we're back. I hope you enjoyed that. That was a really fantastic movie. Go see that movie however you can. Go rent it, go buy it. If you haven't had a chance to, it's a must watch. Anyway, this is going to wrap up our first episode for Lost in Generation. I'll be back with 2 more movies on different subjects, different things. It may be action, maybe adventure, maybe grade B, maybe some horrible movie that you just have to see because it's crazy and it's just wonky and it was meant to be a great movie. If you have suggestions, send them to me at knowledgeisammo@gmail.com and I'll take a look at them. If I haven't seen them, I'll be sure to watch them. Otherwise, subscribe to my channel, which is Knowledge is Ammo on YouTube. Check me out on Instagram, Knowledge is Ammo. And remember, the more stuff we learn, that's knowledge, which is ammo for life. Take care. And be sure not to get lost in generation.